Foster. 7 candidates have qualified for the second Republican debate of the campaign tomorrow night in California, co-hosted by Fox Business.
That's one fewer than last month in Milwaukee. North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum just made the cut, while former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson has yet to qualify.
Governor Burgum's joined on stage by Chris Christie, Ron DeSantis, Nikki Haley, Mike Pence, Vivek Ramaswamy, and Tim Scott. President Biden joins picketing auto workers in Michigan today. TV and Movie Writers Union leadership boards vote today on a tentative deal to end their strike. The Actors Union votes to authorize a strike against the video game industry.
Should the SAG-AFTRA video game performers strike, they'll join their TV and movie counterparts who have been on strike since July. The Actors Union will negotiate with Activision Blizzard, Epic Games, and Electronic Arts.
In Dignam. America's listening to Fox News.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Live and local. Real talk starts now.
All right, let's see if I can get this right 2 days in a row. It's Tuesday, right?
It is.
Hey, I got it right.
Yay.
Good morning. I'm Rayford Brown.
I'm Kelly Knapp.
I'm Lee Barrows.
And
I'm the donkey man this morning.
Yeehaw in the house.
And you're about like Crocodile Dundee. Don't know what day it is and really don't care.
What difference does it make?
It don't. Not to you. I mean, you're retired.
You know what retired means?
Yeah.
Tired all over again.
Tired all over again.
That's about what.
it.
As you break it down into plain English, and that's what retired means.
You have aches and pains on your aches and pains.
Oh, you just have no. Well, you probably do.
I'm working
you
on
get
it.
there.
I'm getting there. I'm graduating.
You ain't there yet. Wait till you get to be about 70.
I just went and bought me a thing of DMSO the other day, just in case.
DMSO.
Yeah,
I was going to question that.
It's a nerve deadener.
Oh, okay.
Oh, good God.
If you go to a doctor and he prescribes it, a little tube costs you $2,400.
What?
Medicare don't pay for it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. And I got this. A guy called me up one time, and I probably told this before. He called me up, says, this word right here, can you translate that into horse talk? And he gave me the word. And I said, yeah. I said, it's DMSO. He said, can you get it? Yeah.
Can I get it?
Yeah.
Go to the tractor house.
And I got it for him. He took it to his doctor, and his doctor told me, he says, there's no way you can get this. He said, well, I got it. It was $6.95.
$6.95. I want a tube.
Yeah. And it comes in you can get it in a tube for $20. You can get it in a smaller bottle for about 10 or 11. You can get a little thing for about a $6.95 the last time I got it. But I got the tube.
Got the tub.
Because I use it on my animals too sometimes.
Okay, got
on bowed tendons, or if somebody calls me up, the horse got a bowed tendon, I'll put a little bit of
what?
it on. It's called a bowed tendon. It's where the tendon you have in your leg, and it'll inflame. You'll stretch it and then inflame.
Okay.
And we call it a bowed tendon, and I'll put some jackass juice on it, just like you use, and then sometimes if the nerve pain is getting to them, I'll put a little DMSO on, and it helps. It takes about a third application, you can feel it.
Okay. Got any with you?
No, I didn't bring any with me. I got some dewormer if you need some.
Hopefully I don't have that problem. Not yet, anyway.
Here we go.
It's about deworming season.
For people?
Well,
people use it.
Yes, some people do use it. Some people,
do we get worms?
No, but you have parasites in your body. And I got one guy, every 3 months, he takes him a little dose of fenbendazole, and he's never sick. I don't know what the deal is. I don't do that. But if I get sick, I take me a little dose.
Okay.
And which I've had doctors tell me it don't work, and I've had doctors tell me it do work, and it's all opinions.
Gotcha. And we've all got one, just like
hind ends.
Yeah, that's the one. Okay, I'll start out the morning. First of all, coming up at 8 o'clock this morning, the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to have our senator, one of our two senators, U.S. senators.
Right.
Tom Tillis going to be joining us this morning. We've got questions. He's got answers. That's what he told me anyway yesterday. So we're going to be addressing a couple things. And one of my favorite topics is border security, which he's really touting these days, more so than in the past. More and more people, especially in government level positions, are saying, we got to do something because we ain't doing nothing. And look what we got. When we do nothing, what do we have? What we've got now.
Yep.
So we're going to talk to him about that, and also about one of his fellow senators, Mr. Menendez.
But I'm innocent.
Uh-huh.
Was that what he said?
Yes.
He said, I ain't guilty. I ain't never done none of that stuff again.
It'll be proved in a court of law.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how that.
I normally keep $480,000 in cash and gold bars
sure.
in my house.
Just laying around.
Just laying around.
The gold bars is what got me, and
Yes.
particularly with their emblems on them.
How do you get it through customs? Is what I
Well,
want.
he didn't have to. They can come into this country as a diplomat.
Yeah.
And bring whatever they want to into this country as a diplomat.
What makes him so special?
Not him, but
Oh.
the people who come from other countries
Sure.
as diplomats.
But I thought he came back with that in his.
I don't know whether he came into the country with it or not. But anyway, whatever. We'll have to wait and see.
Yes.
Anything over $9,999 you have to declare anyway.
That's right.
And if you don't, then you're guilty of something else. So if he actually brought it into the country, they need to add that to his charges.
I agree.
So that will be the right thing to do. Let's go to Tropical Storm Philippe, which I had pretty much denounced yesterday based upon what the original, and until last night, yesterday afternoon, late, the track specialists were predicting it was going to come up, and go back to the north and then go to the northeast and go away. Now, this little booger, this French guy, Philippe, is going to go northwest for a little while, then going to turn west.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Really? Okay.
And where it goes from there, depending upon when it makes
It
that
turns
turn.
west.
They're projecting, as of this morning, yesterday afternoon late, they were projecting a slightly different course. But this morning, they have extended their forecast a little bit out, and it's likely to go back towards the Caribbean. And then who knows after that? Now we're in another world.
Yeah.
We're in an unpredictable world. Get ready.
Okay, so we could go
It could go into the
complete west
Caribbean
and go
and
to
up,
Caribbean and up.
to that little Gulf Coast area, or Florida, or East Coast, or
Yeah, it could
wherever.
come. It
If
could
it's-
go towards Caribbean and hook towards us. So we
Yes.
just don't know.
We
Got it.
do
Okay.
not know
Tracking.
anymore. It's still a
Nice.
tropical storm.
Mhm.
Maximum sustained winds about 45 miles per hour. Expected to increase as it gets into even warmer waters. It's seeking. So we just stay tuned. We'll keep you up to date on what's going to happen with this. I kind of blew it off. Yeah, until yesterday afternoon at 5:00. I'm like, what? Where'd you come from? Oh, booger. So, anyway. Okay. You want to get some liquor
Right now,
on a Sunday?
On a Sunday.
You might be able to do that here in North Carolina. Right now, you can't go to the liquor store, ABC stores,
right?
on Sundays.
Yeah.
But a Senate bill has passed unanimously in the North Carolina Senate to allow liquor stores to open, did not require, allow liquor stores, state-sponsored liquor stores, to open on Sundays.
Right.
And each county would be. Make the
Well,
decision?
if
Their
the House
decision.
agrees with it and the governor agrees with it, then it will become a law. And every county that wants to do that or wants to consider that, the county commissioners of that individual county will have to approve it.
Here we go
Yeah.
again.
Here we go again.
Another controversy
Mhm.
for a group to get up and yell and scream.
They will. Either way, whatever the county commissioners decide.
You still
they
got
will
some
do that.
Bible belting around here. So.
Yes.
Yeah. And,
You get liquor on Sunday anyway. You
Yeah,
go to the right
if
spot.
you got to the liquor stills,
Go to the still, yeah.
yeah, that's it.
And,
They've been
and,
doing
and,
that for
and the
years.
liquor still guys was going to hate this law
Oh,
because
absolutely.
they make their money on Sunday.
Uh-huh. The Onslow County ABC Board will consider opening select stores if approved by the county on at least a trial basis.
Mhm.
You can buy, let me throw you this one at you. You can buy wine and you can buy beer on Sundays. You can go to the restaurants and you can order a mixed drink on Sundays with
Right.
liquor in it.
Yeah.
Was it after 10 o'clock?
It
Yeah.
I
depends
believe
on
it's
which ones, yeah.
10 o'clock, yes.
But you can buy it. You can get it on Sunday.
Yeah, after 12.
Would it not be if our county, if it becomes a law that North Carolina adopts and it goes before the county commissioners, a couple of them have already said, ain't no way I'm going to approve it. Is that not a little bit of selfishness? Is that not discriminating against liquor stores or the people who would like to go to a liquor store and buy a bottle on a Sunday? What is the difference? If you can buy beer and wine on Sunday, you can go to a restaurant and get it. Is that not some kind of strange discrimination? If the county commissioners say, nope, not going to do it.
You might as well.
It's going to be a very controversial.
I mean, they started
decision.
letting them hunt on Sunday.
Yeah.
Now, see, that was my riding day.
Yeah,
When
'cause you
hunting
know
season started,
You know, you could go out and do
I
it.
quit riding my horses during the week.
Uh-huh.
And I would ride on Sunday. And the very reason I rode on Sunday, it was because
couldn't
I
get
didn't
shot,
worry
yeah.
about getting shot at.
Yeah.
Well, they opened up hunting from daybreak to 9:30. They stop it at 9:30 and they start it back. I think it's either 12 or 1.
Mm-hmm.
So
After church.
after church,
Basically,
so I
that's
can
what-
I can ride from 9:30 to 20 and not have to worry about getting shot for law-abiding hunters.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and so that was the only thing that I had about it. I was against it, and I had some hunters got upset, and I said, "Look, don't. It's the only day I can ride, and not have to worry about it." So, so what I did, I went and got me a straw cowboy hat. I painted it orange,
Okay.
and I got an orange vest.
Yeah.
If I ride on Sunday afternoon,
Well,
during
how about your
hunting
horse?
season, well, I've got an orange
paint the
blanket,
horse
but
orange,
the thing about it is with the saddle on, you can't hardly see it.
Uh-huh.
And I wouldn't advise anybody ride a brown horse during hunting season either.
Looks like a deer.
Yeah, and I wouldn't advise it because now mine are spotted, so I don't have to worry about that. But I'm just saying, I was against it. I wasn't against the hunters because we got too many deer and stuff now.
We do have.
We have, and I used to fuss because every year we'd have a meeting in August about the deer's population and what have you, and I would always say, let's extend the deer hunting into February
It should
instead of
be,
stopping
yes.
at and oh Lord, we can't do that during gestation period and they're this and they're that. And I said, I still say, because you can squirrel hunt on into February. You
Yep.
can squirrel hunt, rabbit hunt. I think it's in March, up to March.
Really?
now.
That
I'm
late
not
down?
sure.
It used to be
Uh,
like February 15th or
yeah.
something.
But
And squirrels were January 1st, just like deer.
yeah. And we used to go squirrel hunting after on the day of Martin Luther King's day. We would go squirrel hunt.
Okay.
We did that a lot. So I don't know how long it's extended, but that was my own. I wasn't mad at the hunters.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, I want you to get all you can get.
And bring me some.
And yeah. And I mean,
I like ground. I need a lot of ground venison.
they're so smart. I'm steadily putting up fence at the house on the back side
They'll
because
jump
they'll
it.
get out there and stay out with the donkeys.
Uh-huh.
They don't have to worry about the coyotes. They bring the little phones out.
Uh-huh.
My wife took pictures, the little phones sitting out there in the grass and all this stuff. And I'm out there looking and the bottom line on my fence, I cut it off. It's not charged, just the top line. Well, the big deer, they'll jump it and the little deer go through it. So I just do that. But I was against it. And I got some hate time for it. But that was my only day to ride.
Do you know that there's only 4 states that close state liquor sales down and state-owned stores?
Mhm.
And it's Mississippi, North Carolina, Utah, and Texas. Only
That is
4
special.
states. Out
You
of
know,
50.
you go to Florida, which I used to go to
Yeah.
a lot. You can go to the grocery store
California's the same way.
on Sundays
Yeah.
and buy liquor.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
what just straight up booze.
It's a very debatable subject.
And they had liquor store,
Very.
private liquor stores right there in Jacksonville, Florida. And it was called Jack's Liquor.
Well, I think this goes into personal choice.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And just because someone doesn't agree with it for their own reasons, that's their own reasons.
Yep, I agree.
And I think that if a lawmaker is going to nix it, it needs to be something on not on their own personal reasons. Whatever reason they give needs to not be because they, it's not something they would do.
Oh, I agree with that. Yes.
If they're going to nix this, then have a reason, and don't bring religion into it, because religion, not everybody is
Separation.
religious.
Separation.
Just
church and
because
state.
you may go to church doesn't mean everybody else does.
And it might not be on Sunday that they go to church.
Right,
There
some
are
people
people that
go
go to
on-
church on Saturday.
Some
Nice.
people go other days of the week.
Uh-huh.
So if your argument, and I'm specifically saying this to the county commissioners,
No, well, that's what we're
if
talking
your
about.
argument, and I know most of them are listening, so all of y'all listen up. If your argument is that you're against this, you need to have a legitimate argument. That's fine, but do not make it based on your personal opinion,
Mhm.
because what makes your opinion better than anybody else's? And also, don't base it on religion, because there is a whole bunch of different religions where Sunday is not the day of worship.
Well, Christians drink.
And not only that,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but not only that, not everybody's a Christian. We've got
That's right.
Buddhists here. We've got
Definitely.
we've got agnostic.
Yeah.
We've got Wiccan. We've got all kinds. So don't start with this holier than thou. My religion is the best thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I know another, probably something else that will come up with that I'm sure we'll hear in the debates is the fact that some feel like it will increase DWIs.
Oh, good God. Back in 1978, I think it was, they said it was going to increase the DWIs when they came in with liquor by the drink.
Right.
But,
Well, we
but-
went
It did not.
But
we
with the brunch bill didn't really increase
That's
it.
what I
And
was
what
going
is
to
to
say.
stop somebody, as of now, to go stock up on Saturday night at 8:50 at night because they close at 9,
Yeah.
and then use it up on Sunday? There is no difference. So that's a weak argument as
It's a
well.
very-
Yeah.
totally
and
weak
if
argument.
you're an alcoholic, it doesn't matter what day of the week you
That's
buy
when they-
alcohol.
It's when
Right.
they cut out.
There's
Remember
a
when they
lot of
cut out
debate
happy
here.
hour
Yeah.
Yes.
right here? Oh, that's going to reduce this.
It did
didn't
not do
reduce
anything.
nothing.
Nope.
Well, let me tell you what was on the table for this, because I got an email about this. Happy hour was back on the table for North Carolina
Yeah.
under that bill. Now,
Well,
what?
you can have a happy hour, but if you reduce the cost of drinks
Mhm.
during the so-called happy hour, 5 to
right.
6 or 6 to 7 or 5 to 7, whatever it was,
Yeah.
then you have to keep those drinks the same price all night long.
Right.
This
That's what the
Yeah,
the,
what-
the
the
law-
old one.
current law is.
the,
Right.
the way it was
That doesn't
going,
make
they were
sense.
putting it now. Whether that's, I know that the articles are just focusing on that one thing, but it was going to put it traditional happy. I don't know what word I would use. Regular happy hour.
Yeah.
It was going to switch it to in other states happy hour. That
Mhm.
not the way it is here now, where it has to be the same price all night long.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Now, whether they decided to take that out when they pass, I don't know.
I don't know
haven't
whether
looked.
that's in there or not.
It was busy for me looking anything on it.
Yeah, this is going
But-
to be very debatable.
Well, and I
Frankly,
think
I
don't
don't
make
care.
this a political point for
Oh, you
Re-election?
guarantee you
Yeah.
that's what it's going to be.
It's going to be
because once again,
political.
but a lot of our, if commissioners vote based on facts, not your personal opinions.
Well,
most
period.
of them.
we got at
No,
least
that's what I'm telling them to do.
Right.
we've got at least 2 of them who have talked to the Daily News,
Mhm.
responded, Several have said, no comment yet, because we don't even know what's going to be in it. We
That's
haven't seen
right.
the bill, and we don't know whether it's going to even pass or not. So no comment.
Mhm.
A couple of them have said already, I'm just not going to vote for traditionally, I've never voted for anything to allow more hours for people to get alcohol. Another one said, no, I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah.
A couple have not responded to the Daily News and their request for
Well, I can see it now.
reaction.
No matter which way they go, there's going to be a group
Of
get up
course
there
there will be.
during public comment,
But I think this goes
chew
to,
them out and threaten them, tell them they're
Of course.
heathens.
but this goes to personal choice.
Good luck, guys.
Bottom line, like, as long as they're a legal adult, and anybody can walk into
Food Lion.
the liquor store for whatever reason. If I got a sore throat, guess what Kelly's going in there to buy?
Right.
Rock and Rye. You don't think it works? Go try it.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Bottom line, you don't know why someone is going. Not everybody's going there because they're going to slam down 2 shots on a weekend. People go. Some people cook. Believe it or not, even with liquor. I know you cook with wine, but they cook
I
with
cook
liquor.
with both.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can cook with
Bottom
anything.
And if
line,
you got a sore
I use
throat,
both.
you go in there and
Do you
buy
make
some
me a
Rock and
bourbon
Rye. That
cake?
helps. So, just because there's a whole bunch of reasons why somebody might be going there. This is not just to booze it up, and most people that drink are responsible. Yes, there's always going to
Most
be,
are.
people
And those who
that
are
have
not
issues.
responsible are going to be just like the people, a few who own guns.
Mhm,
Not
correct.
the majority. They're going to be irresponsible. They're going
Yeah.
to be idiots.
But you can't
We'll
put
talk about one
everybody
of
in that
those later, too.
category, and it goes back to just because you aren't
Personal
for it.
choice.
It's
You
personal
know,
choice.
you were talking about happy hour, and I read right here there's only 8 states that don't allow for after work discounts: Alaska, Indiana, Massachusetts, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Rhode Island, Utah, and Vermont. We're one of the states with the strictest alcohol sales laws.
Yeah. So what are our DWI with the other states?
Have no clue.
Yep.
I had 'em.
That is
Okay.
a whole nother thing.
We got to take a break, do a little bit of weather. We'll be back on the other side. Love to have your comments when we get back. 910-333-0139, 910-333-0139. You're live and local Real Talk on Freedom 97.1 and 1120 AM WSME.
Welcome to Allstate, where you can save just by being you. DriveWise in the Allstate mobile app gives you personalized driving feedback, and by adding it to your policy, you can save for driving safe just by being yourself. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands at Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today.
Not available in every state. Savings based on DriveWise and other safe driving discounts. Savings vary. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
This is a metaphor for your business's journey. Sometimes it feels like you're going 100 miles an hour, barely keeping up. But to cruise through challenges, you need someone who's right there with you. That's what Dell Technologies advisors do. They have the Windows PCs and tech advice you need to get past whatever's in front of you and get where you want to go. Call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL. A start to a simpler experience with Windows 11 Pro.
Mills International Incorporated, your local Cub Cadet dealer, is ready for fall, and you should be too, with the Cub Cadet XT Enduro Series. These lawn tractors were engineered for strength, comfort, and versatility, and designed to deliver a premium cut. Stop by Mills International Incorporated today and find out how the Cub Cadet XT Enduro Series is tailored to help unlock all the possibilities of your lawn. Head to your local Cub Cadet dealer, Mills International Incorporated, at 801 South Queen Street, Kinston, for exceptional offers, expert advice, and superior service.
A plan every adult family member should consider is the pre-arranged funeral. It's the worry-saving thing to do for your family. Making pre-arrangements helps to alleviate the additional stress on family members that can come with arranging a loved one's funeral. Jones Funeral Home's prepaid funeral plan helps remove confusion. They make a practical evaluation of costs possible, and it's the best way to take an unpleasant task off the shoulders of the family. Call Jones Funeral Home at 455-1281.
With locations in Jacksonville, Richland, Swansboro, and Holly Ridge.
The summer heat has not kept Mixed Masters Concrete inside. They can handle the heat or cold and that concrete project on your to-do list. When it comes to concrete, nobody does it harder or quicker than Mixed Masters Concrete Incorporated. 3661E Highway 24 in Beulahville. Whether you need concrete for residential, commercial, or agricultural projects, Mixed Masters Concrete Incorporated serves all of eastern North Carolina. From driveways, patios, to livestock housing, Mixed Masters has the concrete, and owner Scott Thigpen will gladly provide a free estimate. For on-site delivery, phone 910-298-6153, and they deliver on Saturdays. When you need a ready-mix concrete quick, call Mixed Masters Concrete of Beulahville, 910-298-6153. Mixed Masters Concrete of Beulahville takes this time to thank those that serve us for our most prized possession, our freedom, and is proud to be a part of the continuing growth of Duplin, Onslow, Jones, and surrounding counties.
If you love ocean pier fishing, the Seaview Pier Motel and Restaurant located at mile marker 18, North Topsail Beach is the place for you. The Seaview Pier is a family pier complete with bait and tackle shop, rod and reel rentals, and accessories. The restaurant serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner and features a complete menu from burgers to ocean fresh seafood, straight to you from the briny blue. With the Seaview Motel right next door and the most affordable rates on the coast, you can make it a vacation or a weekend of Carolina pier fishing. It's all here, including the fish. The Seaview Pier Motel and Restaurant, mile marker 18, North Topsail Beach, across the bridge, just south from Seas Ferry. To find out what's biting or for motel reservations, call anytime, 910-328-3172.
When you need comforting, who do you call? An old friend, right? Jacksonville Heating Contractors services the heating and cooling needs of our area with dependable quality train systems, guaranteeing indoor comfort for your home or business. In addition to quality train systems, Jacksonville Heating Contractors offers 24-hour emergency service, NATE certified technicians, and over 50 years of experience and service you can trust. And with a Jacksonville Heating Contractor service agreement, you never pay retail for heating or cooling services and receive priority scheduling. Remember, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And in New Bern, you can call Trent Heating and Air Conditioning 252-633-2200. In Morehead City, Sea Air Heating and Cooling 252-247-1122. If you need service or repairs, just call an old friend. Jacksonville Heating Contractors, an independent train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. For deals on train systems and more, visit anoldfriend.com or call 910-347-2843.
Attention property owners, are you fed up with bad tenants, under market rents, and late payments? At Fountain Management, we provide unrivaled levels of expertise and all the tools and services you need to make owning a rental property easy and profitable. Are you ready to talk about taking the management of your real estate investment to the next level? Well, contact us today. Fountain Management, 910-455-1609. We will make owning your rental property simple and rewarding.
Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing specializes in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting. In fact, they paint most anything except cars, including homes, businesses, apartment complexes, decks, and they do minor repairs, wood repairs, pressure washing, waterproofing, and more, including storm repair and cleanup. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing, fully licensed, insured, and locally owned and operated by Roger Carroll Jr. References available and customer satisfaction is always. So if you want it painted, maintained, power washed, or need a new roof, call Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, and Power Washing at 910-939-0749 or visit southerntouchpaintingnc.com. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing salutes our troops and is proud to be part of the continued growth of Onslow and surrounding counties.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
All right, y'all, get ready to head on over to Tideline Marine. It should be a mandatory stop on your runaround list today. Doors open at 8:30, a little over an hour from now. I'm pretty sure you can feel the change in the season. Most of us can. Sun comes up a little later, sets a little earlier. And word from the professional fishing guides is that the redfish are in the New River. And I know for a fact they're biting in the White Oak River as well. Specks are not that far behind. Down at Tideline, George listened to the pro anglers earlier this year and stocked the store with the lures they told him are working. Ask George, and he'll be happy to share the information with you. This would be a good time also to Chat up with George or Todd for a deal on a new boat. Several nice Lund fishing boats are waiting for you. If you want something a little bigger, you'll find a couple Aquasport center consoles ready for action. And if you want to take some friends or your family, a big extended family, down the river for a sunset cruise, guess what? You'll love the Aloha Tritoons waiting to share some great times with you. Tideline Marine, 159 Old Bridge Street on the banks of the New River in downtown Jacksonville. A small craft advisory will be in effect from tomorrow through Friday. Yep, it's going to get nasty. Northeasterly winds today, 5 to 10 knots, increasing to 10 to 15 in the afternoon, 2 to 4 feet. Dominant period 6 seconds. Sounds and rivers a light chop, increasing to a moderate chop in the afternoon. Tomorrow, northerly winds 15 to 20 with gusts to 25 knots, seas 3 to 5 feet, except 3 near shore. Sounds and rivers will be choppy. And on Thursday, northeasterly winds 15 to 20, seas 3 to 5. Sounds and rivers are choppy.
Today, partly sunny, high of 79. Tonight, mostly cloudy, low of 62. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, high of 74 and gusty. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy, low of 63 and gusty. And on Thursday, mostly cloudy, a high of 76, but not gusty. Yeah.
Not gusty?
Not gusty.
Not gusty.
Yeah, one day of gusts, the rest of no gust.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
I think I know a Gus. Do you know a Gus?
I know a business named
Yeah,
Gus.
there's a business here in Jacksonville named Gus.
Gus is a
That's
warehouse.
Gus's Warehouse.
Used to be in the city, but it's in the county now.
It's over there at Ralph. Right
Do we
here
need
on
to
Piney
go to
Green.
that
Oh,
If he's
here
still
we
open.
Do we need to go
I
back
see.
there again?
I see a sign out on Western, and it keeps popping up on Western and Marine Boulevard. There's a sign up there that says Gus. One of those electronic signs. So it rotates there.
yes.
When I get stopped at the red light, which I always do.
You know, I actually sat there last night and watched that sign while
Did
I
you?
was waiting. Yeah, just to see who was on it. There was only about 4 or 5 businesses
Yeah.
on it. I think we should put ourselves up there.
It's Jennifer.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we could never
Good-
get to her yesterday.
Good morning, Jennifer. How are you?
Well, I'm fat and sassy. How are y'all?
Yeah. Sassy, I'll agree with.
Well, I call in for a couple things.
Okay.
As far as the ABC stores, now in the great state of Tennessee, they don't have them. They've got privately owned liquor stores, package stores, as they call
Right,
them,
yep.
and they're open on Sundays. It's always been that way. And as for somebody, and Timmy can tell you, I did. I worked retail in a grocery store in the wonderful town of Richlands for 17 years. And there's no difference in these people wine and then coming in on Sundays in their suits to leave church to get their turkey dinner from the deli.
There you go.
Now, just let them go ahead, and not every religion believes the same. You know, some think that there's absolutely nothing wrong with having a mixed drink, a couple of beers, as long as you're not taking it to the extreme. So they need to leave religion out of it.
Yep.
The only reason that they're not open on Sundays is because it is a state thing. And, you know, hey, they work Sunday just like anybody else does. So that's my opinion on that. Now we're going to talk about money for Onslow County. I know everybody's been preaching about don't have money for this, don't have money for that, don't have money for the other. Do they realize how much money? I've done the math. Handicap parking fine, and here I go. This is my rant. You know it.
Yep.
It's anywhere from $100 to $250.
Good.
Now, I want somebody to explain to me what good is it to have it. What good is it to have a sign that says handicap parking, fine enforced, blah blah blah, if it isn't enforced? Why make it illegal if it's never going to be enforced? I wish there was a way, and there probably is, to find out just exactly how many tickets have been written for handicap parking. Do they realize how much money they could make if they would just enforce it?
Well,
I mean, if I was a meter maid, I know I could probably give 10 a day. Easy.
You know, it brings up a good point. Why don't perhaps the shopping centers or maybe the individual stores, why don't they hire off-duty police officers to do nothing? Because you can't go out there and get anybody to write a ticket. But if you hire off-duty police officers, they're always looking for a job. What easier job would there be than to go around and write a state ticket for handicap parking?
Yeah.
And you know, as far as that goes, you always see police officers parked somewhere. They're doing the reports and all that. Now, to me, there's two places they ought to be parked to do reports. They either ought to be parked in a school parking lot if they're having to do whatever, or park in a store and just kind of watch. I pulled into Hobby Lobby the other day. And there was a lady, and she was parked 3/4 of the way over the little stripe where it's marked off to be able to get somebody outside of the van. Well, luckily, that particular parking place had stripes on both sides, and Terry was going to go in with me. So I turned around and I backed in so I could get him out the other side. And she's just sitting there. I didn't think there was anybody in there. Now, back then, I saw this girl just sitting on her phone. So I got out, went around, got Terry out, and then pushed my husband back in front of her car and walked over there and asked her to, and she rolled her window down about halfway like I was getting ready to mug her or something. And I thought, come on, lady. I looked at her and I pointed down and I pointed to Terry, and before I could even say a word, this silly little chick looks at me and goes, ma'am, you do know there are some disabilities that aren't physical. And I looked at her and I said, lady, I don't care what your disability is, but I just wanted to point out to you the reason why you're not supposed to be parked over these lines. And she kind of looked down and she backed out and pulled right back in and was still over them, and I was still standing there. And she actually had the nerve to roll her window back down and look at me, and she said, ma'am, do not speak to me anymore. Apparently, you're having a bad day. Bless your heart.
She's probably from Connecticut.
And I looked at her and I said, yeah, I am having a bad day when I've got to turn around and back in so I can get my husband out of parking place. And, you know, it's just people don't care.
They don't.
But they don't care because it's never enforced. It's never, nobody ever gets, nobody, I walked up to, there was a lady getting in a car beside of me in New Bern the other day. And I looked at her and I looked at her tag and I looked her up straight now and I said, thank you for your service. And she looked at me and she said, I beg your pardon? I said, your tag, thank you for your service. And she said, oh, that's my husband. He was in the Navy. And I looked at her and I said, oh, I just assumed it was you. Yeah, somebody's going to shoot me one of these days. And if y'all find me dead, you know that it's because I just run my mouth one time too many.
Yeah, you're from Tennessee.
Not you. You wouldn't do that. As
I
long as I've known you.
But,
Lord.
you know, if they can that laughing hyena the borders are, make me the handicaps are. I'll
There
do
you
it.
go.
Yeah, I like that.
You'd probably get something done.
She's
I
voluntary.
probably could.
I put a Kevlar vest on Terry.
It's like you're crazy old fat gray-haired lady. Let me move this car.
That
Gonna give me
Tennessee
a
grit.
yeah, that Tennessee
grit.
gonna come out
Yeah,
in
that grit's gonna come out and it's all over.
you.
I was
mean,
married to one. One time.
One time.
That was enough.
But
Terry. We pray for
anywho,
Terry. You got to understand, we pray for him, and not what you think.
Oh, God, Jennifer.
All right,
You made
Jennifer.
my day.
Well, I just wanted to call and give you my 2 cents worth on alcohol and handicap parking.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Y'all have a good day.
You
I
too.
think she gave us Lisa a nickel.
Oh,
worth.
she got about $1 worth out of that one.
Yes, you did. I love Miss
Hey,
Regina
Bill, you
Boo
there?
now.
Yes.
What's up?
I was calling just to ask, I guess, for liquor stores, why aren't they a private sector store where you still have bars and stuff that serve mixed drinks or
Well,
hard liquor? And
The Alcohol Beverage Control Commission operates the liquor.
Statute, they'd have to pass a law to privatize it, and it's been in the works for years, but
Yeah.
it just keeps
Some
not
states
finding
are.
traction.
Too much revenue involved in that.
Yeah, it's
for
a
the
lot of
state.
money. Yeah.
That's why
it's
the states-
more of a revenue issue than it is other.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
it's 100% revenue. It's just a revenue thing.
That's when the
It's
COVID
100%
hit.
revenue.
That's why the liquor stores didn't close.
Yeah.
That's exactly why the liquor stores didn't close.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can get 50 reasons. Well, they're at home, they can't work, they need to drink liquor to keep them calm.
No,
it was a revenue thing. That's all it was. You can call it what you want to, but that's where it is.
It's a source of revenue for the cities, the counties, and the state of
states.
North Carolina. They all share in the profits.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
I
that's why.
guess one other question was they have like those cannabinol stores, and where that's a issue of is it safe? Is it something else?
So what kind of stores?
It's talking about cannabis, but but that's not legal in the state. I mean, you can get some with the CBD and some
You
of
just
that.
can't sell the THC.
You can't sell a THC, but now
TC.
you're finding the
TCH.
THC.
Oh,
You had it
I'm
right,
sorry.
yeah.
I had it right.
But what they're also finding is, I think you're going to see even those stores heavily regulated based on the problems they're starting to have with the other things that are in this
the vaping
in the stuff. But right now, some CBD products are legal, but still some are not. Depends on what the amount of CBD stuff in there. So it's like a gray area in the state, but the state's starting to tighten the reins because they're starting to have some issues.
They're working on it.
Yeah.
There people are
It
ordering
hit me
gummies out of
as something
state.
like that. If we're still controversial and
Yeah.
some that should be possible. If it's going to be sold in the state, that the state handle it so they can regulate it closer. And then again, revenue also. If there's a lot of people that are gravitating toward that to buy, there's more money for the state.
And less for
I
the
guess, to
pharmaceutical
say if it
companies.
is illegal,
That's right.
then why are they even allowed to open and sell it?
It's like your gummies. People are ordering gummies online now.
Well, I had a client end up in emergency room 2 weeks ago buying gummies at the gas stations. We had a whole conversation about that. And because they ended up here at Onslow ER because it was something a little more than whatever's on the package. And I said, no more buying gummies
Just think
at the
about-
gas station.
you
Come
know,
on now.
Just think about somebody laced it with fentanyl.
Well, that was my
that's what
concern.
was
But
scaring
this
me.
was a military person, or they out now for PTSD. They bought the gummies. I said, we another plan, but your days of buying gummies at the gas station are now over. Yeah. Don't do that. You do not know what's in that. You do not want to end up in ER because let me tell
There
you, it
are
was
people
not
that won't
pleasant.
go to a restroom at a gas station, but they'll buy gummies.
I know,
I'm
right?
sorry. Come on. Thank you, Bill. Appreciate it.
Bye, Bill.
Yes,
Have a good
all right,
day.
thank you.
See you.
Bye.
You're live and local Real Talk. Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
Coastal Bank and Trust thanks you for allowing us the privilege of handling all your banking needs, including personal and commercial loans to mortgage services. With locations in Jacksonville, Holly Ridge, Richlands, and City, Coastal Bank and Trust truly is a community bank dedicated to those we serve and is proud to be a part of the continued growth of Onslow, Carteret, and surrounding counties, and looks forward to meeting you. Thank you for voting us the best of the best 5 years in a row. FDIC insured and an equal housing lender.
Have you gotten your copy of Topsail Times newspaper this week? If not, did you know that Topsail Times is Topsail area's only local newspaper in print? Started a little over a year ago, we now have over 1,500 online subscribers and 5,000 printed copies that go out every 2 weeks. And we never charge our readers. Information should be free to our readers, and we stick by that. Looking for an idea for date night? Want to learn some local history? How about asking a veterinarian about your pet? These things and more are available in each copy of the Topsail Times newspaper. Want to get the word out about your business? We offer great rates for full color ads, and the online paper version is always included for free. Need help designing the perfect ad? We can do that too. We're always looking for human interest stories, so start writing. And we love local photos too. Check out our website at topsailtimes.net, where you can find out where to pick up a copy or check out our latest publication online.
It's summertime. No schedules, no stress, and no cooking. The Burrow Low Country Kitchen has got you covered. Order a Carolina-style seafood boil to go. Sausage, potatoes, your choice of shrimp, crawfish, lobster, clams, mussels, crab legs, or a mixture. Seafood boils also make great party pleasers. Grab a quick lunch of Philly cheesesteaks, Italian sausage, fish tacos, and more. Dine in or take out. Curbside or dockside pickup. The Burrow Low Country Kitchen. Corner of Front and Moore Streets in downtown Swansboro. BurrowLowCountryKitchen.com.
Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry, where we love to make you smile. Now proud to be working with Drs. Kim and Tommy Morgan, formerly Morgan Family Dentistry. The Jacksonville and Richlands Morgan offices of Lane & Associates Family Dentistry blends the latest technology with personal care and attention, so you have an amazing dental experience. The offices of Lane & Associates welcome all ages and accepts all major insurances, including military. Lane & Associates Family Dentistry has been serving the state of North Carolina for over 40 years, with 2 locations in Jacksonville, Richlands, and Maysville. Call for an appointment today at 877-LANE-DDS or online at lanedds.com. Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, your trusted local carrier indoor weather team, serving all of your heating and air conditioning needs since 1967. Now offers residential and commercial duct and dryer vent cleaning, and now offers expert residential and commercial plumbing service. In case of a power outage due to a storm or for any other reason, be prepared with a Generac generator for your home or business. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning has Generac generators in stock, ready to install today. Remember, better breathing comes with cleaner air. Let Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning improve the air quality in your home or business with professional air duct cleaning. As always, Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning is available 24/7 for all your heating, cooling, and plumbing emergency needs. Turn to the carrier experts, Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, with locations in Jacksonville and Hampstead. Visit online, humphreyheating.com. And follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning since 1967. Relax. We're on the way.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
And we are back. Remember the report that when school officials up there in Rocky Mount found a 7-year-old kid with a gun at his school last week? Did y'all follow that at all?
A little bit.
Okay. Well, turns out the gun belongs to his uncle, not his parents.
Yeah.
And Annabelle Putty is a convicted felon.
What's that name again? Do that again.
Annabelle Putty, Puddy, is a convicted felon. Under most conditions in North Carolina, felons cannot have a firearm.
Right.
That's why they got the search warrant. Well, Mr. Putty didn't have just one. Police found 4 of them. No surprise here. One was a stolen gun. Thank you, little nephew. I appreciate you taking one of my guns and going to school, getting caught with it, and then the popo gets a search warrant because they knew who I am.
Needless to say, Uncle's in a little bit of hot water.
Police have charged Putty with possession of a firearm by a convicted felon and improper storage of firearms to protect minors. He was convicted on 2 occasions of the felony possession of drugs, 2 times for both were felonies, and interfering with his ankle bracelet. He's back out of jail right now. $1,000 secured bond. Now, where do you think he came up with $50,000 secured bond? Did I mention 2 drug convictions?
Well,
right?
I was just going to say drug sales.
Yeah.
2 felonious possessions of drugs, convicted, and he's able to post a $50,000 secured bond. That means he's got to come up with the money or equivalent property.
Right.
Bottom line.
Couldn't use his guns.
No, you don't have those anymore.
Can't sell the guns, right?
Yeah, that's one and done. So anyway.
Wow. kind of had a happy ending, though.
They did. Okay. Let's take a break here live and local Real Talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
C&S Paint, Jacksonville's premier paint store since 1957, with 3 locations serving the Crystal Coast, has everything you need from brushes to Olympic stain and quality Benjamin Moore paint. Benjamin Moore offers unmatched color and durability, so the color will last for years to come. Whether a do-it-yourselfer or paint contractor, when you shop C&S Paint Center with 3 locations, you're not just improving your home or construction site, you're supporting a local business too. C&S Paint Center, Olympic Stain, and Benjamin Moore. Paint for everything that matters. C&S Paint Center, 105 Wayne Drive, Morris City, 6 Doris Avenue, Jacksonville, and 504 Cedar Point Boulevard, Cedar Point. C&S Paint. Phone 910-455-0210. Jacksonville's premier paint store since 1957.
Modern Exterminating 627 College Street, Jacksonville has proudly been serving the pest control needs of Onslow and surrounding counties since 1952. That's 70 years of protecting the health and property of our citizens from rodents, termites, mosquitoes, and all other pests. Modern Exterminating offers inspection without obligation. Being authorized to serve government quarters, Modern Exterminating takes this opportunity to thank those who serve and allowing us to handle all your pest control needs. If what they use don't zap them, they'll trap them. And if you're not satisfied, they'll step on them. The bug stops here. Modern Exterminating, family owned and operated since 1952. Call today, 910-455-5122. That's 910-455-5122 for Modern Exterminating.
Down East Heating and Air Conditioning, a family tradition of quality since 1986.
Down East is your local Bryant factory authorized dealer. Down East, Bryant, whatever it takes to keep you cool.
Down East Heating and Air Conditioning, a family tradition of quality since 1986. DownEastHeating.com.
Need service on your present cooling system? Just call Down East. Looking to replace your cooling system in your home or office? Down East and Bryant is ready to do whatever it takes to keep you cool on these hot summer days. Ask about 0% interest for 60 months. Down East, Bryant, whatever it takes.
Down East Heating and Air Conditioning, a family tradition of quality since 1986. DownEastHeating.com.
If your plans include hitting the road this year to do some traveling, make sure a visit to Silent Service Center is on your to-do list. Travel safety starts with the tires on your vehicle, and a visit to Silent Service Center will give you peace of mind with the best value in all name brand tires and the largest selection of used tires in this area. In addition to quality tires, Silent Service Center is a North Carolina inspection station and does complete brake service, oil changes, and alignment service. Silent Service Center, 1707 Lejeune Boulevard, Jacksonville, and 108 West Main Street, Havelock. Phone 910-353-4760.
Hi guys, it's Lisa, the Queen of Diamonds from Bryn Mawr Jewelers in Jacksonville. Are you looking for a ring for the perfect girl? We have hundreds of rings in our beautiful showroom. Want a ring as unique as your girl? Then we'll custom design a ring especially for you. Not sure lab-grown diamonds or an earth mine diamond? No problem. We'll take the time to explain the difference. We guarantee to find a diamond as exceptional as your girl. We hand select every diamond that comes into our store, and it has to be a sparkling fireball to make it in our showcase. Our long-standing relationships in the industry guarantees you to get the most competitive price on the highest quality diamond. We offer custom financing so that it's easy to buy the ring of her dreams. We have rings for every budget and a vast selection of loose diamonds. So I invite you to come visit us today at Bryn Mawr Jewelers in Jacksonville. The Lutz family has been a part of thousands of I Do's for over 72 years. Nobody does I Do like we do. Come see why we're Jacksonville's oldest family jeweler.
Bryn Mawr Jewelers, next to Sam's Club, Jacksonville.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
It's live and local Real Talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Well. You know, there's a congressman up there in Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
He says that he's considering a run.
Oh, Lord, not another one.
He's a Democrat.
Oh.
He's a Democrat. He says, you know, so many Democrats are out there saying, you know, we really don't want Joe Biden to run. He's too old. He's too like Joe Biden. He's just Biden. And so this guy He's Dean Phillips, Representative Dean Phillips out of Wisconsin.
Never even heard of him.
Apparently, well, that's what he says. Apparently giving it consideration while polls show a significant number of Democrats don't want Biden to seek re-election. A poll released over the weekend shows that Trump would handily beat Biden if the election were held today. Phillips acknowledges that there are people out there better qualified than he is, qualified Democrats with more name recognition than he's got, but he's concerned that no one will actually challenge the president. Well, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. announced a few months back, I think it was in April, that he was going to run. According to Wikipedia, members of his extended family have discouraged him from doing that. His uncle, John Kennedy, we all knew him, former president, was assassinated during his first term in the White House. His dad, Robert Kennedy Sr., was gunned down during the campaign for his presidential run. And that happened before the Democrat nominating convention. 2 other uncles ran, but they were defeated in the primaries. I still think for me, if I was a Democrat, I would encourage Joe Manchin from West Virginia, the Democrat. I would do everything I could to get him to run. Why? Because he's very popular. Even among Republicans, he's popular. Among independents, it would be a shoo-in.
He may.
Well,
that would be the smartest thing in the world the Democrats could do, would be to get Joe Manchin to run. But I'm not sure Joe Manchin's not going to run it, but as a Republican.
Well, the No Labels Party is talking about as a third person.
Yeah, well, they can put anybody they want up, but
That's right.
he doesn't have to accept that.
That's right. But they have named him.
What would happen if he would switch parties right now and become a Republican?
I think he'd give Trump a run for his
No,
money.
he wouldn't. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
And if he beat Trump out, because the independents are going to vote for him. The Democrats who do not like Joe Biden, which are 60+% of them, don't want him to even run. Manchin could be the one person in this country that could beat both of them.
I agree with that.
I think he'd be good for the country.
Well,
He'd be good for the
I
country.
really do.
I think so too, but Trump has got such a strong hold.
Yeah, but not among Democrats.
He's got like a cult.
Not among Democrats.
That's
And not
true.
among independents.
That's right. Yeah, it could possibly work.
Mm-hmm.
And not
I say
even,
let's try it. Let's
honestly,
try it,
among
Joe.
Republicans. I mean, a lot of Republicans don't like Trump.
Yeah, there's probably over Biden, they will choose Trump.
Yeah. Oh, I agree with that.
Yes.
The same reason they did last time.
Yep.
They did not like Trump. So the ones that did vote for president, they voted for Biden. This time, my opinion is, and it's only mine, it's going to be reversed
Yeah.
because of the situation that we
With
are
Biden.
in.
Yeah. With Biden and Harris together. Oh, God.
Because you still come down to the same scenario that that you've said time and time again. And I go by diesel fuel. Diesel fuel was $2.08 a gallon when Trump was in office, and it's $4.49 now.
Yeah. And gasoline the day before the election was $2.12 at Sam's. I made a note of it.
Yeah.
$2.12.
And we sat here and predicted, didn't we?
Oh, we
that
did.
as soon as the election was over with, that it was all going up.
It was going up. It did.
And it did.
Continuing to go. It bounced up and down, but it's on its way back up again.
Yes.
It's going to come down next year.
And it's
because of the
Yeah.
it's election year. I guarantee you that Joe Baby is going to do everything he can to make a deal with the Arabs and
2024.
everybody else. Yep.
You
Next year.
probably see gasoline come down to around $2.70.
Maybe even
And
lower.
people's going to forget it.
Yep.
Forget about what it was.
Not
when
if
it
I
was
can help it.
$2.18 a gallon. They've already forgotten it.
Yep.
But now it comes down to the same old thing. The reason this year that your fuel is going up, home heat, you don't use diesel fuel that much anymore.
No,
for heating
not
oil.
for heating.
Now, back when you were younger and I was young, everybody used
We had a big tank back here
it. It was
underground.
not called diesel fuel. It was called home heating oil.
That's right. Same thing.
Yeah, same exact thing. You can, in fact, a lot of the farmers would have a huge 500-gallon tank.
Yep.
And they had a spout out the end of it. They could fill up their tractors, and
There was a lot of people used it just for other small
Yeah.
purposes. And up here at the Humphrey station, the Texaco station up there, they had a big old tank out there.
Yeah.
You know what I bought it for? A nickel a quart.
Wow.
Because I used it to when we go camping.
Mhm.
I had a special container. I take it with us to fill up the lanterns and the lamps and stuff that we carried with us.
Well, look how cheap kerosene used to be.
Well, it was the same thing.
Yeah.
It was, I could get a quart of it for a nickel.
And then all of a sudden, when the kerosene heaters came out, it shot
Oh,
sky
my
high.
God, yes.
Because there were tractors
Yes.
before my time that you cranked on gasoline and you converted it over to kerosene because kerosene was cheaper than gasoline.
I mean, who didn't have a kerosene unit?
Yeah, that's right.
All right, let's take a quick break here for do a Fox News. And then when we come back on the other side, we're going to have Senator Thom Tillis joining us. So
Yeah.
hang in there in about 60 seconds. We'll be right back. You're live and local Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
WSME, Camp Lejeune, W246CJ, Jacksonville.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. Congress is back in session today with 5 days left to approve funding to avoid a partial government shutdown.
Everyone in America could be faced with paying a price for that.
President Biden blaming House Republicans who can't agree on funding the government. The House is expected to vote today on 4 individual spending bills. The Senate's working on a plan to extend funding short term. The president will be in Michigan today with striking auto workers. At least 20 people are killed in a gas station explosion in a disputed region of Azerbaijan in Eastern Europe.
The blast happened as ethnic Armenians queued to fill their tanks before setting off from Nagorno-Karabakh. Nearly 300 were injured. Azerbaijan took control of the enclave last week, forcing separatist authorities to lay down their arms.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Thousands of people there are trying to leave and get across the border to Armenia. America's listening to Fox News.
Freedom 97.1.
WSME.
It's live and local. Real talk.
Okay, it's 8:01, and we're back. And joining us on the telephone right now, U.S. Senator from the great state of North Carolina, a Tar Heel born and bred, Senator Thom Tillis. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. How are y'all?
We're hanging in here. Got Kelly and got Lee, and we got one of our guests in the studio this morning. What's your name? The Donkey Man?
Donkey Man.
Tim.
Donkey Man. You to the hall.
Tim Thomas. Almost said Tim Tillis, but
I raised Democrats. They are. Donkey is a true Democrat. They sit around the pasture and they eat whatever you give them for free. The only thing they do to keep the coyotes away.
Senator, I don't know how to explain Tim, but he just did a pretty good job. By
I
himself.
voted for him. Don't worry about it.
Well, Hope made your day this morning already. So,
Yeah.
how are you
I
doing?
appreciate it anytime you can make me smile on a day that I got to go back to D.C.
Well, just get my phone number and call me sometime. I'll keep you full.
He can keep you on a trip back to D.C. He can keep you entertained. I'll guarantee you that. Anyway, Senator, a couple of things out there. One, Bob Menendez, come on. Second time around. What are you going to do with him?
Well, the details appear strangely similar to his prior indictment. Of course, there was a mistrial, and ultimately he was acquitted. But the circumstances look really dark. I did think it was kind of rich for Fetterman, of all people, to call on him to resign. I think maybe we should make a package deal there and help Pennsylvania and New Jersey out. But, we've got to go through it. The one thing I have to say, Rayford, as damning as it is, we've got to be intellectually consistent. We either believe our justice system, people are innocent until proven guilty, or we don't.
Yeah.
But it does look like going into it, he's got a lot stacked against him. And it does raise a question about how distracted he'd be and whether or not he should do the right thing and let the people of New Jersey send a senator in his place and let him deal with the legal entanglements.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, the gold bars is what got me. That's pretty physical. It's coming from.
I was having that discussion with my wife this morning. I said, "Sweetie, if I had several tens of thousands of dollars laying around in gold bars when you brought it up as maybe not good financial management to me? And she said she would have.
I'm sure she would have. I know her. But anyway, that's from a law enforcement background. That's a one and done. You got a lot of explaining to do on that one. I know.
Yeah, I think so, and that's why I really do think, given the weight of the charges, that he would do well just to step aside and let the people of New Jersey continue to have focused representation up in the Senate.
Yeah, well, I don't see him doing that. I think he's going to say, I got away with it the first time. Let's see what the second time's going to do. Second time's going to be a charm, in my opinion. I'm thinking he's thinking that.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, and there's the other argument that if he resigns, is that just giving more weight to it versus fighting it in court.
Sure.
I'll be honest with you. I'm sick of all these court cases now. I wish we could get back to solving the problems of the American people.
Good
I
luck.
mean, we're not talking about a crisis of the economy. We're not talking about $900 more a month that people are paying just to get by since Biden's been in there. We're not talking about the failure of Biden at the border, a crisis of epic proportions. People have forgotten what we were all freaked out over back in April about these historic numbers. Now they've almost been normalized to it in the same way they've been normalized to gas prices that are almost twice what they were before Biden got into office. All self-inflicted wounds.
Yeah, we talked about the gas prices this morning and the price of diesel. Tim he drives a big truck. That's what his profession is. He runs big rigs along with raising Democrats. But the price of gasoline the day before the election here in 2020 in Jacksonville at the place I buy gas, Kelly buys her gas there too, was $2.12 a gallon.
Mm-hmm.
It's $3.30 plus now, and that's because it's come down from where it was. It was $3.79.
Well, Rayford, if you remember, there was one point when I was having to drive to DC during COVID. I was taking pictures of $1.40, $1.50 gas.
Yes.
Now that was
I
when
saw
we were
that.
at the height of production. But when you come in and you shut down the spigot, this is what happens, Joe Biden. In your first 24 hours, when you basically demonize the traditional fossil fuel industry, pull permits and make it more difficult for them to make any long-term investments to drill, this is what you get. And Biden needs to explain that. If you think about it, a good portion of the reason why we have the strikes that we do right now is that the workers are trying to catch up to the added costs that Biden foisted on them over the last 2 years.
Right. Yeah.
So that's what, it's really what I think is as a Republican, I'm a little biased about who I want to win in elections, but the battlefield is replete with targets for failures of this administration. And we have got to focus on that.
Well,
and I think sometimes, even look at these lawsuits, is that it's at the risk of having people forget just how profoundly they are hurting economically since Biden got into office.
Well, one of the things that I've written, I don't know how many commentaries on around here, was about this thing called the border. I have talked about that till I'm almost tired of talking about it. But every time I stop talking about it and then I read something else, I'm re-energized. What are we doing? Yeah. What are we not doing?
Well, we're not doing anything. And, this is another example. Now, these are two self-inflicted wounds.
Yep.
Energy prices, which is also a big driver to inflation, self-inflicted wound by Biden. He was so driven by the liberal progressives to shut down fossil fuels and not move to a smart transition that we have the energy prices that we do. Now let's talk about the border. The border was largely secure in the Trump administration. Now you have people in the administration saying that we need to pass laws to actually secure the border. Well, Joe Biden, we didn't pass any laws for you to create the crisis that you create. What Joe Biden did is failed as a leader, bowed to the liberal progressives, took a lot of the policies that Trump had in place that were working, and now we have a several-time increase in crossings every single day. Historic number of family units in August. Over 1 million gotaways. These are people that we know they got into this country, but we don't know where the heck they are. Nobody really tries to come to this country now and evade Border Patrol because it's so easy to get through unless you got a bad rap sheet. So I believe the vast majority of these gotaways are either criminals or they are somehow related to criminals crossing these borders and fighting and doing their best to evade detection. All of these sorts of failures, all these additional risks, all the numbers you see down at the border, there's only one person responsible for it, and that is Joe Biden. Decisions that he made, bowing down to the liberal progressives.
And I look at it, passing laws to make it illegal to come across the border. I'm sorry. Let me think about this for just it's already illegal to come across that border illegally. Why don't you just arrest them? They had the one guy, was it not in Texas?
Why don't you do it? Yeah. But Rayford, it's simple. You hold Mexico accountable for securing their southern border.
Mm-hmm.
You put back into place a Remain in Mexico policy. You actually shift people out of daycare back onto the border, put structures in place, and make it very clear to the cartels that their $1 billion a year business is going to get shut down. The only people who have succeeded financially in the Biden administration are the cartel.
They're doing a wonderful job. Even the price of pot, a pound of pot, back in my day was $400. What is it, $4,000 now? $5,000?
Well, I wouldn't know anything about that, Rayford.
Well, yeah, I do because I read what the values are today, and I used to arrest people for it.
Oh, you look that up on the internet? Okay.
Oh yeah, it's out there. It's out there. It's $4,000 or $5,000 for a pound of pot. They used to be $400. Duh, the cartel's making a fortune, and they're just bringing in junk.
You know what? The sad fact is, Rayford, drugs are the second most profitable line of business for them. Human trafficking, advertising in foreign countries, and say, pay this amount of money, and there's a grade depending upon what country you're coming from. We will get you to the United States.
Yep.
The cartels are laughing all the way to the banks to the tune of almost $1 billion a year.
I am sure. Wow. It's irritating. I wish I was much younger and could go back into the profession that I used to have, because I know where I would be volunteering to go. Into Mexico.
Well, it's sad. and now we've got almost 5 million more people. We already had a base of about 15 million, so call it 20 million. Now you're going to have somebody come in and say, well, now we need to give them amnesty.
No.
No way. You've got some kids out there that we have to have a discussion about. Any adult that crosses border knowingly should never get amnesty.
Nope.
Period. End of story.
They should be banned.
And you have to send that message to people who are not doing it, or they're going to come here and assume they're going to be a part of a 15, 20, 25 million person population that receives amnesty and a path to citizenship. Simply can't do it. It would create a disaster very similar to the amnesty that was created under Ronald Reagan. 3 million people.
Yeah.
With no border security to follow it up. And that's because Ronald Reagan was misled by Congress, who said they'd get to border security. We have to get border security. We cannot allow amnesty. We've got to secure the border, and we've got to hold the Biden administration accountable for it until we do.
How do we do that? How do we secure that border?
Well, I think there's a lot of changes going on now. When you see a mayor of New York, just think how insulting it is for people in Chicago and New York who haven't traveled down to Arizona and Texas the way I have, and say there's nothing wrong at the border. It's a humane thing to do. Suddenly, when they get a glimpse of what Texas and Arizona deal with daily for years, now they're saying this could destroy our town. Well, wake up, buddies. Because if you go down to Texas, they've been saying that for years.
Yes.
And they've been yelling it for the last 3 years under the Biden administration. So I think, people are beginning to wake up. Everybody thought it was gimmicky when Abbott sent folks to New York and to other parts, and DeSantis joined in. But I think it was brilliant. It's given these folks who are not right on the border a little glimpse of daily life in Texas and in parts south.
What we call a wake-up call.
Every week in this state, and they're talking about crime going up here, fentanyl overdoses going up. So we're seeing it in all of our communities. And I believe over time, Biden's going to have that. And I think border security will be a key part of the elections next year.
Well, we have in North Carolina alone, and Kelly knows more about it than I do, somewhere between 8 and 12 fentanyl overdose deaths per day in North Carolina.
Yeah.
8 to 12 in North Carolina, our state.
We have several years ago, this was probably when I first got elected here, opioid overdoses surpassed automobile accidents.
Oh, yes.
And deaths every year. Now you can't go every week or two without hearing about some young child who unknowingly took something that was laced with fentanyl and dying.
Yep.
That's another reason why we have to seal the border. We know that the vast majority of that poison that is killing from fentanyl, now there's over 100,000 total deaths with opioids. About 70,000 of them are fentanyl nationwide. And we know the vast majority of those are coming across the southern border.
Of course.
Coming from Mexico.
You know, if we
70,000 people a year.
If we had that many illegal guns coming across our southern border, illegal guns by illegal individuals, can you imagine the screaming and the hollering to secure that border that there would be?
Oh, I agree. No, it's like a bad horror movie where you're seeing the bad decisions being made and just wanting to scream at the TV. This administration on the border, on the economy, in many cases, global leadership. Look at what they recently negotiated with Iran. It is like a bad horror movie. You see all these bad choices being made, and you're just screaming at the television trying to change it.
I do it on a daily basis. That's the reason I kind of stay away from the TV these days, because it's an expensive TV and I don't want to break it.
Get you a TV brick.
Yeah.
Remember when they came out in the 70s?
Yeah, there you go.
TV brick.
Anyway, Senator, there is so much. Now let's go political for just a second. Within the Republican Party, of which I'm not one, I'm not a Democrat either, of course, but within the Republican Party, there is so much dysfunction, especially on a local level here and across the state and probably across the nation. What y'all gonna do to fix that problem?
Well, I'm glad you asked me that question in a way that was very similar to the way somebody asked me that in the town hall about 2 months ago.
Okay.
What are y'all going to do to fix the problem? What we have to recognize collectively, particularly since 2011, Republican leadership transformed the state. We go from maybe the lower quartile to #1 state to do business for 2 years in a row. You saw what happened to our corporate taxes. You saw what happened to our income taxes. You saw what we did for Second Amendment rights. You saw what we did for pro-life rights. You saw for regulatory reform. The list goes on. And somehow we've forgotten about those results here in North Carolina. We've got to get back. I know it's said time and time again, but it's, I guess, hard to follow. We got to get back to the 80-20 rule. And if we're all on the same page 80% of the time, then why are we spending 80% of the time attacking Republicans rather than having them win in elections and then discuss our differences? So it's about discipline. There was discipline back in 2010 when I was driving all over the state to try and get Republicans in the legislature. It's about discipline now. And so how does it relate? Every single this person, to be fair, I know you're very connected, Rayford. You got a voice. You can help with this. But I asked this person, I said, will you tell me what you've done? Have you ever contributed to a candidate? Have you ever volunteered? Have you actually studied up in an election before you've done it? And the answer, or what I inferred from the non-answer, is he hasn't. So we've got to make sure that everybody in society, not just elected officials, have a role to play to get people focused back on the main thing. And the main thing, in my opinion, next year is failed leadership by the Democrats and a need to replace them with responsible, business-focused patriots that I believe come from the Republican Party.
That's across the board. It's a statewide, it's nationwide, and I totally agree. And the Democrats are hoping that they will find somebody to actually run against Joe Biden that can beat Joe Biden. I don't think there's anybody that will step up to the plate that wants to do that. And I'm not sure how much, I don't know how much support they would get. The only person that I can think of would be
the timing's just
Manchin.
not right.
Yeah.
Right.
And if Biden was as smart And I'll tell you off mic one day what somebody said about Carter way back when, a comedian. But if Biden was as smart as he should be, Harris would be off the ticket and Joe Manchin would be on as VP.
Well, I think that would be a good place for Joe to land.
Yep, that's not going to happen.
Because right now there's a lot of speculation that he could be a part of a third-party ticket.
Yep, that's been discussed as well.
And quite honestly, that'd be a way to hedge against a third-party ticket. Disadvantages Biden based on the current environment.
Big time.
But these folks aren't thinking that way.
Nope.
They're just kind of like marching along. And then, we've got the debate coming up tomorrow night. I'm looking forward to that.
Should be fun.
I'm looking forward to a debate that President Trump gets into, hopefully in the third debate. But, what we need to do is focus on our nomination process, but most importantly, because we have candidates and people are divided on who they're supporting, once the primary is over, get on the team. Don't dig yourself such a deep hole to where you can only vote for one Republican who happens to be the Republican you're supporting now. That doesn't make sense at any level.
Nope.
That if my team doesn't win, then I don't go into the finals. Well, I don't know anybody in the Hall of Fame that only won semifinal races. And we've got to get people focused on getting behind a candidate, doing exactly what we've done starting in 2011, but we've drifted a little bit. We haven't had the same sort of party unity that we had maybe 4 or 5 years ago. We've got to get back to that.
Yeah. Well, I think Lee probably needs to take over the chairmanship of the Onslow Republican
Been
Party.
there, done that. It's been nice not dealing with it lately.
Senator,
those are tough jobs.
Yes,
Senator,
sir, it is.
thank you. Thanks for your time as always. And you don't have to wait for me to ask you to come on the show. You do know that, right?
Yeah. Well, like I said, once I get down there, I'd like to come visit you all in person.
Please.
That would be great.
But hopefully we'll get up there. We'll figure out a way to keep the government running, and then figure out a way to get the American people to take this country in a different direction in terms of who's sitting in the White House.
Yeah. Well, we got to do something because the vast majority of this country, according to even the Washington Post polls, are fed up. We're fed up. The vast majority.
Well, I agree.
We've had it.
We're fed up.
So shame on us if we don't translate that into good outcomes for elected people
There
in
you go.
Washington.
Senator, thank you. Best of the family.
Yep. Y'all have a great week.
You too.
We'll see you.
And stay safe up there. You're live and local Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
Mohawk All Pet Protection and Warranty is the only copper protection and warranty for all pets, all accidents, all the time. Because your pets are family members too. No matter how you live, we've got you covered. Soft, luxurious, smart strand, forever clean carpet. Gorgeous, durable, solid tech, luxury vinyl tile. Mohawk has the ultimate floor for every room in your home. It's suitable for all pets. For details, contact Watkins Floor Covering online at watkinsnewfloor.com. Watkins Floor Covering, thanking you for voting them the best of the best for 2022 in the flooring, covering, and carpet cleaning category. Watkins Floor Covering. They're more than just floors. It's custom showers, custom tubs, carpet cleaning, backsplashes, bathrooms, commercial, retail, and home flooring too. Watkins Floor Covering. Family owned and operated since 1997. With locations in Jacksonville and Surf City. Watkins Floor Covering. You stand on it, we stand behind it. Wismart and Chappie's Chicken. And for over 50 years, Great Gas Oil Company has kept our community comfortable year-round with quality heating and cooling products and dependable service. In addition to heating and air conditioning service, Great Gas and Oil Company does generators, tankless water heaters, and quality appliance repair. For service, phone 910-347-7138. Locally owned and operated by Jerry and Jeff Allen and Bobby and Louise Williams.
Hurricane season is here, and if you're not prepared, now's the time to visit Williams Hardware, 3011B Bridges Street, Morehead Plaza in Morehead City. Whether for the contract or yourself, or Williams Hardware has the tools and accessories to help protect against high winds and water. Williams Hardware carries power tools and equipment, chains and fasteners, plumbing and electrical supplies. Williams Hardware, your helpful, handy hardware store, also cuts glass to size and cuts and threads pipe. When the chores are done and the cleanup is finished, light up that Wilmington Grill for Williams Hardware, 3011B, Bridges Street, Moorhead Plaza in Moorhead City. Williams Hardware is open Monday through Saturday from 7:30 till 6 p.m. and Sundays for your convenience, noon till 5. Phone Williams Hardware, 252-726-7158, and be prepared this hurricane season.
Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro reminds you to check your mailbox and find your quote on homeowners insurance. Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro goes the extra mile to make sure you're in good hands, like helping you customize your home and windstorm coverage with their Write Your Own home policy. Yes, save even more when you bundle your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, and even your golf cart. Remember, if it rolls or floats, call Tammy for a quote. You and everything you own are in good hands with Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro. Call today, 910-326-5383. Tammy Fry Allstate, 638 West Corbett Avenue in the friendly city by the sea, Swansboro. Check your mailbox today for savings on your homeowner's insurance.
For 40 years now, people throughout Jacksonville and Onslow County have trusted Barnes Diamond Gallery for all their jewelry needs for every special occasion. They understand that every day is a special event for someone, whether celebrating a wedding, anniversary, birthday, engagement, or graduation. Let Barnes Diamond Gallery custom design something for you. Barnes Diamond Gallery does on-site repair in addition to their quality and selection of diamonds, diamond fashion bands, pendants, watches, earrings, gemstone rings, and necklaces for anyone for any occasion. Major credit cards accepted. Layaway available. Barnes Diamond Gallery offers appraisals and paid top market prices for gold and silver. Barnes Diamond Gallery, 461 Western Boulevard, Suite 120, Jacksonville, open 9:30 to 5:30, Monday through Friday.
It's not for everyone, only for you. The medication your doctor prescribes is exclusively yours to take as directed. Nobody else should be taking it. It's up to you to keep your medication secure and to safely dispose of any unused medications. Don't let anyone take what's yours. Your action, your responsibility. Be aware, don't share. Lock your meds.
Supported by NCDHHS, Division of Mental Health, Developmental Disabilities, and Substance Abuse Services. Visit lockyourmeds.org/NC.
The Burrow Restaurant and Bar in Swansboro is hiring. We're currently looking for experienced line cooks and expos. If you're hardworking, reliable, professional, and have a desire to always strive for better, we want to talk to you. The Burrow is open 7 days a week. Stop by for an application. Our sister restaurant, Il Cigno Italiano, is also hiring line cooks, expos, and bartenders. Make great money and be a part of an outstanding, dedicated team. The Burrow Restaurant on Front Street and Il Cigno Italiano on West Corbett Avenue, both in Swansboro.
It's live and local real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Hey, you guys, you need to get ready, get set, and go. You got 3 minutes and 15 seconds to get down to Tideline Marine. They opened the doors at 8:30 this morning, and I guarantee you they're already open, so you can come on down and take a look around. It should be required stopping for you on any daily basis. What do you call the runaround? What I call my runaround list. When I get out there and have a bunch of things to do, I make a list of places that I have to go. Well, Tideline Marine would be one of them. I'm pretty sure you can feel the change of the season right now. Better doors open, don't have the air conditioner on.
Yeah.
It's a little cooler outside. A little cooler. Sun goes down, a little bit earlier, comes up a little bit later, but that's okay. It's called the fall. That's what happens. And in the fall, one thing that happens, fishing.
Mm-hmm.
The fishing season, the fall fishing season is dynamite. Spots are already biting.
Yes.
You go down there to the Emerald Isle Bridge as you come across that area down there, and you can guarantee you, friend of mine, he used to call it the spot yachts that were out there. All those little boats that are out there, they're fishing for spots.
Mhm.
Spot yachts. You go into the ocean. The fishing piers will be loaded with people catching 2 at a time.
Done it many a time.
I've done the same thing many a
Started
time.
New River Inlet Pier and worked my way
All
down.
the way
Hit
down.
Scotch Bonnet.
If you got a
Paradise,
boat, you can
Barnacle
get out there and hit the waterway. You can hit near the inlets, and you're going to find spots. They're delicious to eat. It takes about a dozen of them to fill me up at a time because they're generally small.
Yep.
They got a little spot on the tail. So that's why they call it the spots.
They're good eating.
I know for a fact the redfish and the trout are already working. The redfish are in the White Oak River. They're in the New River, down the river a little bit, but they're working their way up. Friend of mine over there near Stella, he's been catching them off his dock, his
Oh.
little pier.
Oh, yes.
Nice.
Yep.
And he's been catching some very nice ones up there too. So, if you want to get down there to where the redfish are with the right bait, you need to go buy Tideline Marine. You need to buy a Lund boat, first of all, a fishing boat, if you don't have a boat. That would be great for you. But ask George what the fish are biting on, what they're hitting on. They've got lures in there. George goes out every year. He listens to the professional anglers who come into the shop all the time at Tideline, and they tell him what they want him to get so that they can buy it from him. Okay? So that's what he stocks.
That's
Not
loyalty.
only just for them, but for you and me
Yeah.
as well.
It's called loyalty.
That's
Yeah,
it.
and that makes a business.
And then when George tells you what the people are using, the professionals are using, you need to stock up on it. And they did that last week when I was there. They were stocking up on a whole lot of stuff because the flounder are still in
Mhm.
season. What's today? Tuesday?
Mhm.
Until Friday at midnight. You've got until then to catch your limit of one a day.
One a day.
15 inches or longer. And some guys are catching some pretty big
Mm-hmm.
flounder this year. So that's a good thing. If you want a bigger boat than a Lund fishing boat, you've got an opportunity to get the Aquasport center consoles. You also can do, if you want to do some cruising in the evening, just about sunset cruises. They advertise sunset cruises in a lot of places, right? But you can buy your own boat. It's called an Aloha Tri-Tune. It's a pontoon type boat. And you can take a whole bunch of your family, your friends, and go down river at sunset, have some cocktails if you want, and some chew wine and some cheese, whatever you want, and go down river and have a good time just watching the sun go down. It's beautiful down there. Tideline Marine, 159 Old Bridge Street on the banks of the New River in downtown Jacksonville. There will be a small craft advisory in effect beginning tomorrow morning through Friday afternoon. Offshore today, northeasterly winds 5 to 10, seas big, kind of big, increasing to 10 to 15 in the afternoon, 2 to 4 footers, and offshore it's going to be even bigger. Dominant period 6 seconds, sounds and rivers a light chop, increasing to a moderate chop in the afternoon tomorrow. That's when they kick up. Northerly winds 15 to 20, gusts to 25, seas 3 to 5, 2 to 3 near shore. River and sounds going to be choppy. Thursday, northeasterly winds 15 to 20, seas 3 to 5. Again, sounds and rivers will remain choppy.
Today, partly sunny, high of 79. Tonight, mostly cloudy, low of 62. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, high of 74 and gusty. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy, low of 63 and gusty. And on Thursday, mostly cloudy, a high of 76.
Did you say high in the 70s?
Yes.
Love it.
I did. This
Low
weekend's
in-
the same.
Lows in the 60s.
Saturday and Sunday so far have a high of only 77.
That's nice.
I like it.
That's good weather.
Yep.
You can get out there and you can mow your own lawn.
Yeah, that's donkey trimming weather.
There you go. It's fishing weather too. Okay, what else we got cooking out there? Anything?
You had some stats come in?
I did have some stats come in, thanks to one of our county commissioners who sent me some information about the liquor sales here in Onslow County. For the year ending, the fiscal year ending on June 30th, the amount of money that came into the county, to the Onslow County Board of Commissioners going into the general fund was almost $1 million, $988,000. Going into law enforcement for the county, that would be going into the sheriff's office, $77,000. Going into alcohol education, $125,000. Going into our hospital. We don't own the hospital anymore, do we?
No.
$136,000. The city of Jacksonville, because of the liquor stores located in the city, they got almost $97,000.
Great golly.
In Swansboro, about half that, a little over half that, $50,000, almost 55. The town of Holly Ridge got almost $37,000. The town of Richlands, $53,000. I don't think there's a liquor store in North Topsail Beach.
No, I know.
Yeah, there's
No.
they have to come out into the county.
Right.
You have to come on what they call main. There's one in Sneeze Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what they maybe North ought to open up one because they got a whole lot of tourism there. And they could be getting some of this money back. But that would be the ABC Commission to
Yeah.
open it up.
Because this, I know it's right off 210. The one right there at not Four Corners, but where the Shark is.
Yeah, right.
Folkestone Road or Old Folkestone Road.
Old Folkestone Road, yep. Interesting stats, Paul. Thank you.
Very much so. Just goes to show you how much money we make off of liquor sales.
It's good revenue now.
It's good revenue.
Don't you think it ain't?
Mm.
Like I said, that's
People
why I'm
are going
preaching.
to drink. Okay.
That's right.
And those who buy the liquor at the liquor stores are going to be drinking at home for the most part. If they can't buy the liquor at the liquor stores, they're going to go out to drink. And that means they're going to drive to get there and to get home after they've been drinking.
Excuse me.
I'm not sure that alcohol sale, it might hurt some of the bars opening on Sunday, that liquor stores open on Sunday. That might hurt some of the bars.
I don't think so.
Probably not.
Well, a lot of them go to the bars
For
you know,
social
to drink,
reasons.
but you're right. Socialize.
That's right.
And some of them on Sunday will go to watch football.
Yeah.
So
That's going to happen.
mhm.
But a lot of people will have their football parties at their homes
Yeah.
as long as they got the alcohol to take care of the people.
Mhm.
Well, it's like that. Like I said, I drink at home.
Uh-huh.
And I take my 1 ounce shot every night. And on the weekends, I may take 2 ounces. I'm not a big drinker and haven't been for years,
Mhm.
but my cardiologist approves of it. And my family doctor approves of it. And okay.
Yep.
Something's going on. I just had a nuclear stress test last week. And they just called me yesterday. Oh, everything is normal. Everything is normal. Your arteries are clean, and this is clean, and that
Well,
is
good.
clean.
Keep them
and,
that way.
and they said, keep up what you're doing. And the echocardiogram came back also said
Mhm.
your valves are
Well,
Excellent.
EKGs, let me, being an experienced individual who
Yeah.
got whacked on back in November.
I don't trust the EKG. Period.
Right, because you're not performing, you're not under stress. A stress test for
Mhm.
me involves getting on one of those treadmills. And, well, whatever time it takes you to get your, what is 135? or whatever.
134.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
That's what will tell the difference, because the EKG at rest
Yeah.
didn't show that I had any issues, even in the hospital.
No,
in
mine
Newton.
didn't either in 2004.
Mhm.
I took one and walked out of OMH,
Uh-huh.
and my chest is hurting. I went to work that night and came back the next morning, and I went to Newbern.
Uh-huh.
And I said, hey, something's going on.
Yep.
And they threw me up there on the table and did the angioplasty and said, you've got 8 blocked arteries and stents ain't going to work.
Nope.
And I mean, right then.
Yep.
And
That's what they did with
And
it.
now, 5 years after that, I have to have a stress test and an echocardiogram. Now, the echocardiogram is basically checking your valves. I mean,
Yes.
it's just like pregnant women get the sonogram. Same thing.
Yep.
And it
Well, not
they
quite,
call
but-
me. Yeah, but they call me. You got to lay on your side, and they even give me a shot to something to go through your heart to check things out. But I have, for the federal government reasons, I have to have one every year. And my doctor, they says, well, you know, your insurance will pay for a nuclear stress test, so I want you to have one every year. I said, well, I don't need one, just a stress test, all I want. Well, this year, my time got cut short. Usually I have to literally run after my 6 minutes. I have to run anywhere from 32 to 40 seconds to get my heart rate up to 134.
Mhm.
This year, it was 24 seconds.
Mm.
I mean, after my 6 minutes, she said, you're still not there. Let's run. So I run.
Yeah.
I get right on the treadmill and I run. So, you know, they keep looking at me because I still come back with the anniversary. Next year will be my 20 years for the bypass. And they tell me you don't have a thing. You probably will never have to have another one.
Well, I hope
So
I don't.
I don't,
That's
because
great.
that's the worst thing I ever went through, and I
8
felt for you.
days.
I felt for you, son. I
Yeah.
mean, even after you come home, it's terrible.
Well, I get worried.
Yeah.
Suddenly I'm feeling, okay. I go out here and I walk and I do something. I come back and I feel stressed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, I need to call my cardiologist. I did that last night. I need to make sure I get an exam here shortly.
Right.
And I want a stress test this time. I want to get on that treadmill
Yeah.
because I'm not sure until I get on a treadmill and they clear me.
Well, and if your knees can't handle it, they got another way of doing it.
Well, my knees can handle the walking
Right.
part on a treadmill for 5 minutes or something.
But I feel for you, son. I mean,
But
then when
after,
you're home,
after my heart attack in 1999, and I went back to the doctor, to the cardiologist, about every week there for a while.
Yeah.
And I said, I got to be cleared for diving. I don't have to be because I'm going to dive anyway, but I would like to know that everything is good. So they put me on the treadmill, and I said, how long am I got to walk on this dang thing? And they said, well, until you get up to 134, is it? I thought it was about 134, whatever, till you get up there. I said, well, how long is that going to take me? He said, well, at your age, probably about 4 or 5 minutes.
Oh, wow.
8 minutes later, I was still down in the low 120s.
Wow.
And they were increasing the level and increasing the speed. I was literally running.
Yeah.
I never got to 134.
That's
And I said, okay, I'm done. He said, no problem.
yeah, no problem. You're fine.
Yeah.
But Dusty, she's up there at Newbern. She doesn't. And I've known Dusty for years. She's a sweet lady,
I'll have
and
to ask
she'll
for her.
pick on me all the time. And she said, "You're gonna run. You're gonna get that 134." Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. But
And you did.
I did.
Finally.
And the thing that worried me when you had your bypass surgery, the thing that worried me the most, and it happened to me,
Because I'm old.
yeah, was pneumonia. And I got it.
Did you?
But now I had an amazing family doctor. And I went in every 2 weeks. And she told me, you wake up one morning and you breathe in and you hurt, you get up and you get down here now.
No,
And I
okay.
did.
Well, good.
And they took me in and they did an x-ray, said you got pneumonia trying to come in.
Wow.
So she gave me some antibiotics and sent me home. And
You didn't go to Tractor Supply?
no, I had some stuff. But yeah.
All right, Tim, let's take a break. You're
Yes,
live
sir.
and local Real Talk of 97.1, 1120 AM WSME. We'll be right back.
The best deal for the grill is at Jones LP Gas and Oil Company each Friday. Every Friday from 8 a.m. till closing at 5, Jones LP Gas and Oil Company will fill your 20-pound LP gas grill cylinder for only $11. You heard that right. Each Friday till closing, you can have your 20-pound LP gas cylinder filled for only $11 at Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 Wilmington Highway in heart of Verona. In addition to saving money on your LP gas for the grill, Jones Gas and Oil is your full-service gas and oil company serving residential, commercial, and agricultural gas and oil needs, as well as gas appliances, LP replacement parts, fill cylinders, and tankless water heaters, and they offer a 10% military discount on installation. Remember to get that cylinder filled every Friday until closing for only $11. Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 the Old Wilmington Highway, Verona. Phone 910-346-6384.
Schools are now back in session. Please do your part and drive carefully to make the streets and highways throughout Onslow County safe for our children and our citizens. This reminder is brought to you with the best wishes of Richlands Insurance and Realty, your trusted choice insurance agency located at 207 South Academy Street in Richlands. Richlands Insurance and Realty sincerely appreciates the opportunity to serve you with all of your insurance and real estate needs, whether it be homeowners, business insurance, life, automobile, and even motorcycle and boat insurance. Since 1950, Richlands Insurance and Realty has protected the citizens and property of people throughout Onslow and surrounding counties with the utmost and personal professional service and care, giving their client peace of mind. So trust your insurance needs to your trusted choice agency, Richlands Insurance and Realty, 207 South Academy Street, Richlands. Byron Irvin and the staff at Richlands Insurance and Realty are here and ready to help you. Phone 910-324-3133 for Richlands Insurance and Realty, serving our area since 1950.
Mills International Incorporated, your local Cub Cadet dealer, is ready for fall, and you should be too. With Cub Cadet, zero turns, lawn tractors, and walk-behind lawnmowers from Cub Cadet are engineered with premium features, leaving you with a well-manicured lawn. Stop by Mills International Incorporated today and unlock the possibilities of your yard with Cub Cadet. Head to your local Cub Cadet dealer, Mills International Incorporated, at 801 South Queen Street, Kinston, for exceptional offers, expert advice, and superior service.
Since 1997, locally owned and operated Jersey Mike's 301E Western Boulevard right here in Jacksonville has provided only the best hot and cold subs and healthy salads to our community and our military neighbors, and thanks all our customers for making Jersey Mike's a sub above. Jersey Mike's features hot and cold subs in different sizes, served Mike's way or your way, in addition to delicious, healthy salads. To place your order or for takeout, phone 910-353-8091. Once again, Sam Duran and the staff of Jersey Mike's, 301 E Western Boulevard, Jacksonville, thanks you for making them a sub above. Hello, shoppers. Take advantage of the following specials and many, many more. Locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store where good things cost less. Down the street on the Richlands Highway, Jacksonville, and Main Street in Maysville. Family pack T-bone steak is only $9.99 a pound. Boneless shoulder roast, $4.79 a pound. You get a 5-pound chicken breast or tenders for just $11.99. 10 pounds or more of fresh ground beef is only $3.59 a pound. Pork spare ribs, $1.79 a pound. Jumbo pack chicken wings, $2.29 a pound. And whole shoulder cod heart, $59 a pound. And remember, the beef and pork is cut fresh every day by the butchers at your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store, and they use only the finest and certified Angus beef and Sanderson's Farm chicken. Over in produce, crisp green cabbage, just 59 cents a pound. You get a 1-pound bag of crisp carrots for just 79 cents. Extra fancy ambrosia, cosmic, crisp or red delicious apples, just $1.99 a pound. Large navel oranges are only 99 cents each. Fall squash, 99 cents a pound. Fresh strawberries are only $3.99 a pound. Rutabagas are only 99 cents a pound. And you get a 2-pound bag of Halos mandarins for just $4.99 a bag. And you get 2 8-packs of the 12-ounce size Pepsi or Mountain Dew. You get 2 for $10. That's your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store where good things cost less. Down the street on the Richlands Highway, Jacksonville, and Main Street in Maysville. Remember, say big with the pig.
If you're looking for a great deal on a brand new Mitsubishi pre-owned car or truck, look no further than Bob Mills Mitsubishi, 2150 North Marine Boulevard. Because at Bob Mills Mitsubishi, they give it away and guarantee all their customers financing. At Bob Mills, there is no high pressure, no smoke and mirrors, or running back and forth to a sales manager. Buying a new Mitsubishi or quality pre-owned car or truck should be a fun experience, and that's what you'll have at Bob Mills Mitsubishi, 2150 North Marine Boulevard in Jacksonville, because they give it away.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
Okay, ladies, wives, if you really want to get even with your husbands and they're going to be flying somewhere.
So what time is? Yeah, she's at work. Go ahead.
To do what this guy out there in Virginia said his wife did. She put a gun in his carry-on luggage. She packed his luggage, and according to him, he told TSA in Arlington, Virginia last Thursday when they found the gun that my wife put that thing there.
They're like, yeah. Well, I told you about that grandmother that was going through security not long ago, and her kids thought it was really funny to put an adult toy in her suitcase.
Oh, I'm sure that was funny. Mm-hmm. The man was given a citation and faces a civil penalty from TSA, which can carry a fine up to $15,000. You are responsible for whatever is in your luggage.
Yeah.
Carry on or otherwise.
Sure.
So it doesn't matter. I check and recheck my carry-on every time I fly. Because, who knows what I've got in my camera bag.
Yeah.
Normally, when I do photo work, I've got a Swiss Army knife in there because it's got all sorts of things.
Right.
In my pocket, I've got a Leatherman, one of those multi-tools. I've always got stuff. I'm a walking nightmare if I have to go through TSA. And by the time I start emptying my pockets and cleaning out my camera bag and doing all that, I weigh 10 pounds less.
I imagine. Well, let me ask you something. When you travel and the suitcase that actually you check in, it goes on the plane.
Yeah.
Do you put a lock on yours?
Yes. Well, I put tie wraps on mine.
Okay.
I've even been accused of that being a roach clip.
Roach. Well.
Well, yeah, if you catch a roach, you can.
Why are you carrying that in your pocket?
I've carried one of these in my pocket since I was 18 years old, and every time it wears out, I go buy another. There's the most handy dandiest little thing you'll ever find. You can sit right there and pull it out and do stuff with it. You can hold. And I had a guy stop me one night and empty your pockets, and I had my pocket knife and all that stuff, and I pulled that thing out and set it up there, and I wasn't in no. I really weren't in no trouble. I shouldn't have been, hadn't done anything. He looked at that and says, "What is that, your roach clip?" I says, "No, it's a pair of pliers." I said, God. He let me go. I mean, he found out I wasn't who he
I've
was
heard
looking
him called
for.
a lot of things, but a pair of pliers?
Yeah.
A miniature pair of pliers.
Miniature pair.
No, that's pretty cool.
And they slip, and me and Diane were dating, and we were working at the house.
Mm-hmm.
And we were working on fence, and I could take that fence and I could hook it in there and I could twist
Sure.
it, tighten it right up, and I
Sure.
band it. And she said, "Let me borrow your pliers." I said, "Okay." And I'd hand them to her, and she'd do something. She's right there with me, trying to learn how to fencing and stuff. And about the third time she borrowed him, I said, "Well, we're gonna go out and eat dinner." I said, "I'll remedy this problem."
You bought her a pair.
Went right to Wiggins Hardware, walked right in there and bought her a pair of pliers. She said, "Well, what was wrong with using yours?" I said, "Now you got a pair."
And I might want to borrow yours.
Yeah. She come back, put them in her pocket. I don't know if she ever pulled them back out or not, but she keeps them in her billfold. And she said, "I swear they have come in handy over the years." But
That's like my Leatherman. I pull that sucker out for all sorts of things.
And I keep losing. Every time I buy one, I'll keep it, but I will set it down. I had a Gerber pocket knife I've had for 18 years.
Wow.
And I set that thing down one day on the side of the truck, was doing something. And
Oh,
I
no.
lost it. And that made me sick. And my wife bought me one for Christmas. And it's a little bit bigger than what I had, but now I love it. I love a Gerber pocket knife.
I use a Kershaw.
Yeah.
Got half of the blade is serrated.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought it, long time ago when I, was working in another profession, because I can cut a seatbelt with that thing so fast. Particularly the serrated edge part of it. You put it, I can slice through a seatbelt in a heartbeat. I only did that once, but I've always had it. Now, the newest generation that I've got of the same knife, my other one's sort of wore out.
Yeah.
I can send it in for $25. I can get them to rebuild it or replace it.
Yes.
It's $100 knife,
Mm-hmm.
but this one has got a little point on the one end of it. It's break glass.
Right.
It's the same knife, but it's got that little extra point there.
I've got one put up somewhere because
well,
I collect them.
Mine's in my pocket. That's where I can need it.
Keep my
I don't need it.
Yeah.
It's locked, put away somewhere.
But I bought 3 never seen them before, locking blade Hawkbill knives.
Oh, locking blade.
Locking blade. And I found them up in Mount Airy.
Wow.
My buddy Don, he runs a little store right there and right there on Main Street. And he said, just as soon as I walked in, "I got something for you." I said, "What?" And he pulled it out. It's $15. Locking blade Hawkbill knife.
Wow. We
And
used,
I
one of the guys that I worked with when I was in high school, even when I was working for an electrician,
Mhm.
one of the guys there, Stevie, he carried he used a Hawkbill knife for all his wiring. They used to have something called a semi Hawkbill.
Yeah.
It was made for cutting wires, for stripping wires,
Mhm.
and that's what I bought. And that sucker was so cool.
Yeah.
And carried it on my tool pouch. Reached down there, I could pop that thing, and it's got a slight, but not as much as a Hawkbill,
Right.
but they called it the semi Hawkbill.
Yep.
And I could strip wires so fast and
Oh,
make
yeah.
a head strip. It was
my,
great.
My daddy loved
Lomax was perfect.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's what it was made for.
My daddy loved the TL-29. It's Sears and Roebuck sold them. They were about that long.
Okay.
And he kept one. I probably got one in one of my drawers somewhere. They called it a TL-29, and that's what he stripped wire with.
Well,
but it didn't lock. And I don't like it if it don't lock.
Yeah, I don't either. But these didn't lock in those days.
No.
Mine does. But anyway, we got to take a break. And that knife, that TL-29 in your drawers, be careful. Don't let it come open. You might get hurt. You're live in local Real Talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM WSME.
So I want to take some time to talk to you about our friends at Pizza Village of Beulahville. First of all, I take this opportunity to thank our men and women in uniform for their service to our country. And of course, there's no doubt about it, the best pizza and spaghetti in Beulahville is at Pizza Village, 811 West Main Street. Pizza Village offers daily specials, and their buffet features pizza, spaghetti, and salad bar. It's a fact. True Italian can be found in Beulahville with a down-home atmosphere at no extra charge at Pizza Village. Pizza Village is open Monday through Thursday, 11 to 9:30 p.m., Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., and Sundays, 4:30 to 9:30 p.m. They even have a private room available for special events. Dine just one time at Pizza Village in Beulahville, and you'll be sure to go back. Pizza Village, 811 West Main Street, Beulahville. Again, thanks those that serve us.
I had a question about my insurance the other day, so I called my new State Farm agent. And would you believe I talked to the same person who remembered my name? They said that was called service. And then they asked if my dog Max was over his cold. They called that service too. And then they helped me find ways to save on my home and auto coverage. I asked State Farm what they called that. They said service.
Call David Hall, State Farm, 910-455-0440, 1218 Country Club Road, Jacksonville.
Have you gotten your copy of Topsail Times newspaper this week? If not, did you know that Topsail Times is Topsail area's only local newspaper in print? Started a little over a year ago, we now have over 1,500 online subscribers and 5,000 printed copies that go out every 2 weeks. And we never charge our readers. Information should be free to our readers, and we stick by that. Looking for an idea for date night? Want to learn some local? Each copy of the Topsail Times newspaper. Want to get the word out about your business? We offer great rates for